What did we notice about the poem after hearing it the first time? Can someone tell me the tone of the poem? What's the tone of the poem that we get from the first stanza? What do we know about the poem? Excuse me? It's a sad poem. What else?
Someone's upset.
Okay, someone's upset.
Someone's angry.
Angry. There's a lot of different emotions in the poem, right? At different parts. He's sad, he's angry. We can tell that it's not a happy poem, right? It's kind of even a little scary at parts. So, can we look at the first line of the poem? Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary. What kind of tone does that leave us with? A little creepy, like it kind of sets the tone. Like we know from the first line that it's not going to be a happy poem. It's going to be a little sadder, a little more dreary, a little creepy, a little creepier. So what do we know about the poem? What's going on in the poem?
Like somebody is knocking at his door.
And what happens when he opens the door?
There's nobody.
So why don't we go in sequence of what's going on in the poem? What's the first thing that happens? Before that. Chloe?
He's like sleeping or he's napping.
Yes. He's napping, and then what happens?
Then,
You can go, Chloe.
not much.
Okay. What happens next?
Someone knocks on the door and he sees Jesus.
Okay. And what happens after that? Ashley, do you know? No one's at the door. And what happens after that? Nasir, do you know?
I think he said something and he heard his echo. And then somebody said it right.
Yes. And what's the next thing that happens after that? Do you know? Okay. And what's at the window? The raven's at the window. Okay, what happens after that? What'd you say? So he starts speaking to the raven, right? And what's the only thing the raven says to him?
Nevermore.
We can all say it as a class.
Nevermore.
That's all. That's the only word he seems to see. It's the only word he knows how to say. So when we're reading this poem, we want to pay attention to the setup of the poem and why Edgar Allan Poe did use certain techniques to write this poem, such as like the rhyming scheme. Like, isn't it kind of like a song? It's a lot of rhyming in it. Also, a lot of repetition. Even at the end of each stanza, it's something that rhymes with more. More, evermore, nothing more, nevermore. Are we noticing those kinds of things while we're reading it? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to play it again, and I want you to look for more repetitions and more things within each of the stanzas, and I want you to pay attention to the sequence of the poem, how it starts, what happens next, the build-up to, we want to get to know how he starts sad, how he starts to gets a little bit calm, then he gets scared. We want to build up to how he gets very angry at the end where he's screaming. So just pay attention to the sequence of events.
Is he saying this poem or is another person?
Is he saying this poem?
Yeah, like, no, recording.
Oh, no, that's not him. Do we know who Lenore is?
His cousin.
Well, this isn't necessarily written about his own wife, even though he did have a dying wife at the time. This is This is narrative poetry. Does anyone know what narrative poetry is? Can someone take a guess at what it is? It could be about. Did we notice anything else reading it a second time? What did you notice, Ashley?
I noticed he got angry, like, almost to the last page. Because, well, on page 57, he started shouting, like, softly, and then he started getting louder and louder at page 58.
And why do we think, why is he getting angry? Huh?
Because the bird keeps saying that in your own time.
Yeah, because the bird keeps saying nevermore. But if he knows the bird is gonna say nevermore, why does he keep torturing himself by talking to the bird? What are you thinking?
Because, since when I died, he was frustrated about that.
Maybe he's a little lonely and he just wants someone to talk to him. Did we notice anything else?
He chewed the door.
That was definitely repetition for effect. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna break off into groups, and we have a nice little activity for you all to do. So I'm gonna break you into groups of 4s. So you 4 right here are gonna be a group. You 4, including Chloe, are gonna be a group. You 4 over here are gonna be a group. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna be a group. You 4 over here can be a group. You 4 right here can be a group. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have a group. Okay, we can go with this one. You can go with Ashley's group. You can go with Ashley's. Oh, yeah. You're with this group. And if you don't have a group, go with Ashley's group. And as a group, you're going to do several things. The first thing, you're going to summarize that stanza in one line. Summarize the stanza in one line. And also what you're going to do is you're going to find examples of alliteration, internal rhyming, and vocabulary words in the poem. And there's a list of the vocabulary words in the folder. And they go in order with the poem. So you're going to underline those words. And on the sheet, it tells you what color to highlight these examples in. So it'll tell you on the sheet that for alliteration, you're going to highlight in blue. They're in the folder. Can anyone tell me what alliteration is before we start?
It's like words with the same beginning sound or letters.
Yes, words that start with it's a similar sound at the beginning of a word. Does anyone know what internal rhyming is? Internal rhyming is when there's words that rhyme in the same line. Words that rhyme in the same line. You're going to highlight the examples.
I was listening, but I didn't watch it. Oh yeah, we need another package.
Okay, we'll get you. We'll get you. You're gonna need a highlighter here. Before you start, your group is only going to highlight one paper. Only one poem that's in your group is going to get highlighted. Don't write on every single poem, just write on one. Yes, the poem, only write on one. You guys are supposed to work on stanza one. Okay. This group is stanza two. Stanza two. You're going to work on stanza 3 and 4. 3 and 4. We're gonna start presenting. We're gonna start presenting now. Stanza 1. Just come up with whatever you have.
Yeah, we all trying.
Come on up. I'm going to read your stanza to the class. You can switch off online so everyone knows to read.
Can you fill this out?
She'll tell you about that.
Once upon a midnight clearing, while I pondered weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore.
While I nodded and were napping, suddenly there came a tapping.
And of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some good word I muttered, tapping on the chamber.
Only this and nothing more.
Okay, so now, you guys can come up here and underline. We have red and blue, so if you want to do green for pink. Okay.
For yellow.
No green for that.
Oh, yes, red and pink, we don't have yellow, so you do green for yellow.
So I'll do the red for you. Yeah, I go underline it.
There shouldn't be any talking. No. Underline vocabulary. Oh my God! Seriously, it turns around and also underline vocabulary words, please.
The yellow is the green.
Okay. So let's see if they were right. So we have for internal rhyme. For internal rhyme, we have Jerry. And weary. For the vocabulary words, we have pondered, point, and lord. Do we have the next stanza? Stanza number 2. You want to come up? Start reading. There shouldn't be any talking.
Distinctly, I remember it was in a bleak December. And each separate dying ember bore its ghost upon the board. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had saw to borrow.
From my books, receipts of sorrow, sorrow for the lost, Lorraine. With a rare and radiant meadow, and the angel named Lorraine. Lenore. Nameless here forevermore. You can come over here and underline.
Good afternoon. Please listen to the afternoon announcement. There will be a meeting of the Drama Club on Friday in room 103 at 3 p.m. Please try to attend. Mr. Brach's third period literature class report to room 308 after school for a few minutes. Boys and Girls Club after school, please report to large group instruction room. The 6th grade cooking club is today at 4:15. 7th and 8th grade cooking club will be tomorrow at 4:15. Champions Forever bracelets with mustache lollipops on sale in Life Skills room after school, $2 for both lollipop and bracelets. Halloween cupcake sale in Life Skills during homeroom on Halloween. All
Can
cupcakes are
someone
at a
tell me
cost
what
of 50
internal
cents.
rhyming is?
And a reminder to all National Junior Honor Society students, please bring in
Words
permission
that rhyme
slips
in the
for
same
scheduled
sentence. So it
trips.
should be,
Also
it should
remember
be
to
words
bring
that are
an
underlined, not the whole
age-appropriate
sentence
book
that
for
has a
our
rhyme
trip
in it.
to the preschool
Okay.
this Thursday.
Good job.
Also,
So
the
I'll-
fundraiser
You wanna
orders
read
are
the class
due
your
on
summary
October
of what
31st.
that
Thank you.
stanza meant?
He still trying to end his sorrow. That's it.
Okay. So these are the vocabulary words Edgar and brought. The internal rhyme was borrow and borrow. And alliteration was increase, sorrow, and sorrow. Does the next group want to come up for stanza 3 and 4? You're gonna get out of here. Oh, knock it down.
In the silky said, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain. Wrote me, filled me with fantastic tears never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating. Tis Is that how you say it?
Yes, please.
Some visitor entreating an entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is and nothing more. Presently, I can't read it anymore. So
Someone else can read? Someone read, please?
Alright. Presently, my soul grew stronger, hesitating, then no longer. Sir, said I, or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping. And so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door. That I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there and nothing more.
Someone want to come up and underline, please? Vocab, you can use names.
That's the hardest thing, there's symbolism.
Chloe, just sit.
Want to tell the class your summary? There shouldn't be any talking in the class.